All right. Hello again, the internet. Long time no see.
Hello.
Now, it's been a while since we did one of these videos. And, well, we're only really doing this because of sudden upsurge in popularity. So everyone out there who has subscribed, upvoted, said nice things about us, thank you. This is what we live for. Please continue. We received a question from one of our viewers who wanted to know a bit about how to fight Sabre against bayonet and bayonet against Sabre, so that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, we need to put this in a little bit of context. The manuals we use for teaching Sabre and bayonet, both individually and against each other, are Swedish Army issue, and the late 19th century. The Sabre manual was written, published, accepted in 1893, the bayonet manual in 1895. So that is sort of the historical period we are moving in. However, I think you'll find that a lot of the principles described will be still applicable with sort of pretty much any weapon. There has been also some discussion about length of weapon, primarily when it comes to the gun and bayonet, but that's another show.
Right now this is how you fight against each other according to the manual.
Right. So, starting off, Sabre. Now, your most important tool when trying to fight a bayonet fencer with a Sabre is this: your offhand. Because, as in so much fencing in general, the idea is often to control your opponent's weapon, and the best way to control a musket or a rifle with a bayonet is simply this. There has been some discussion both on the internet and among our learned peers about the viability of grabbing any bladed weapon really around the blade. Now, the bayonet manual says it can be done, other manuals recommend against it. However, I don't think anyone will dispute the viability of grabbing a firearm by the barrel. So, what do I want to do when fighting against a bayonet fencer? Well, now going after the practice weapons that we have, my Sabre weighs approximately an eighth of what the rifle and bayonet do together. So with that, of course, gives me a lot more endurance in the fight. So what I want to do really is just harass my opponent, feint, cut for the weapon, just try to make the guy with the gun and bayonet move it as much as possible without actually accomplishing anything. Wear him out.
Yep.
Now, ideally, what you want to do is to move into a mid-level parry and then grab the gun around the barrel and move it for the kill. So when you stand in guard against a bayonet fencer, you make sure to always bring your left hand forward. You place it on your chest, about throat high. That way, if a thrust comes in, you can bat it away, or with a bit of luck, grab it. Now, the one thing you do not want to do with a Sabre is move into a high parry. You do not want your sword sort of up here, 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 because that means you are getting a face full of rifle butt. we will demonstrate. So, moving on to the bayonet side of things, the most important thing when standing in guard with the bayonet is to remember to keep the point low. This is for two reasons. The first being that, as I said, my goal is really to grab the weapon. If you hold the point sort of aiming at my face, chest, belly, I can quite easily just grab the barrel without having to bend over or really do anything other than move my hand. If the point is low, well, then I have to bend forward to get at it and then expose my head. Even if I don't, just, well, you don't want to give me your weapon. Make me work for it, damn it. The second reason is that you want to protect your fingers. As we demonstrated last time, the rifle, musket and bayonet really doesn't offer much finger protection. If the point is held high, it becomes very easy for me to slide my saber along the barrel and down into the bayonet fence's fingers. With the point pointing down, I can't do that. As I mentioned earlier, the rifle and bayonet in this case is much heavier than the sword, meaning that in any waiting game, the saber fencer will win. You can't go on defense with the bayonet against a saber fencer. You have to attack. You want to harass, you want to thrust in, use the weight and bulk of your weapon to just push through your opponent's guard. You can quite easily use your heavier weapon to displace or even to just bat the saber aside. Or, as we said, you can feint your opponent into a parry and smash his face in with a butt. Did I forget anything?
No, not what I can think of right now. No.
Okay. Well,
but
so
we need to know who wins this time. Sabre versus bayonet. Who wins this time? Bayonet has already won one time. Because this is the internet and we want to know.
Sabre wins. Good night.